Yo, it's Monday, so you know what that means. It's time for another episode of Marcus in the Man Cave with your host, Marcus, and our beautiful, wonderful, magnificent co-host, Miss Janelle Mayfield. How you doing?
I am wonderful. How are you today?
I'm alive. I can't complain. This is a big show. One, it's Juneteenth week, so clap it up for Juneteenth.
For Black people.
For Black people, for the culture. Two, it's our month anniversary. We've been putting on these episodes for a month. So, and we couldn't have done it without you guys supporting us. So, thanks for your support. Thanks for coming and seeing us every week. It truly means everything. It's just a blessing to be able to do it. And because it's our month show, we have two very special guests. So guest number one, which is right below me, is my good friend. He's one member of the popular, very amazing brass band called DuPont Brass out of Washington, D.C. They just won 3 Whammy Awards in D.C. And that's my man, Anthony Daniel.
Clap it up.
All right. And in the box right next to him, I got my good friend who has supported this channel since we took off. I mean, she's been there every week gathering people to come watch. And I couldn't think of anybody else to celebrate doing 1 month of shows with. So Ralicia Dumas. And she's so excited about being here. So, Janelle, what you end up doing over the weekend?
Nice. Okay, so I was in a wedding, and first of all, I stayed out past 3 a.m. numerous days in a row. I couldn't believe it, and I wasn't tired. I was in the mood. But I was in a wedding. It was beautiful. We just celebrated love and beautiful people and ate good food. And then I came home. I celebrated my 5-year wedding anniversary. And I celebrated my husband's birthday. His birthday, our anniversary, and Father's Day all in the same month. What did you do? How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. So I tried to paint, do some painting this weekend. And if y'all follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you saw that travesty of a painting. I'm glad y'all didn't clown me. But
I thought it was beautiful. What are you talking about?
It was good.
What are your paintings normally like? Like, what's your standard? Because that was like
that was the first one, so I don't even have a standard. But it didn't look anything like the actual picture was supposed to look. So
my painting portraits are like, so you got it, bro.
So
I don't know what you're talking about. That was cheap.
We'll see. I might post what the picture was actually supposed to be soon. But until then, I'm let that up there. Let y'all think that was some good work. So let's talk about the NBA playoffs for a second. This weekend was a little bit wild. And I just want to get since Anthony's here, I got some male backup with me. And we're gonna get into some deep stuff later, y'all. Don't worry. But I gotta ask you how you feel, man. How did you feel about Jokic being tossed out of that game? Because I did not like it at all.
I mean, it was a hard foul. Yeah, I think it's kind of BS to like everyone else has already said, to be a ref and have that big of an impact on the game. You know what I'm saying? But they were gonna lose regardless, man. They really missed Murray in this series. This was Murray's matchup for real, to match up against like Devin Booker and Chris Paul. Michael Porter Jr. just not ready for that role yet to be the second man. You know what I'm saying? So it was a tough out for them either way, for real.
Yeah, I feel like I get it was a hard foul, but I think intention needs to be taken. I don't think. Yes, he was frustrated, but I think he was really going for the ball. And I think too, you have to take into consideration that this man has not had a flagrant in like 3 years. Like, so he's not that type of player to go just headhunt on somebody like that. So I think they could have thought about that a little bit. And he's the NBA MVP. Like, you don't toss your league's best player out of a consequential game like that. Like, get flagrant one, yeah, we can have that. And fine him or whatever you want to do after the game. But don't take him out of a do or die game for his team. And they started playing hard after that. Now, if they had played that hard after that, like how they played after he got ejected, the whole series might have been a little different. But the fact that they threw him out just did not sit well with me. And I think the league needs to be a lot more consistent on when they call those, because we saw some harder hits earlier in the season that were not flagrant twos.
Honestly, Jeff Van Gundy's always complaining about something, but it's like they need to just have a playoff rule book. Because it's inconsistent the whole time. It's like, this is a flagrant two, but this is just a hard playoff foul over here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you said, you hit it on the nose. Like, just if you're gonna call it, then call it every single time.
He also didn't even hit him.
Cameron Payne be acting.
I
hate Cameron Payne.
That's another thing.
Cameron Payne.
I think the league needs to. I think the league needs to also kind of start policing the flops a little bit. Like these flops are getting ridiculous now, and it's starting to take away from the game. Like,
it's comedy now, and I just feel like y'all are being some bums. And I think they should reevaluate all the refs too, because the refs just be on my last nerve. Calling everything, can they play? Let them fight for all that. Like, my goodness.
I will
say this though. It's like we say let the refs. We be like, let the refs play, and they don't call something.
Then we get mad.
When the call don't come our way, we be mad. They're human too, they're in the moment too, and they can't see everything. Like how we can see all the angles, they can't see that. So I think sometimes we forget that we expect them to be like, it's hard, but they can't be perfect, even though they should be.
Sorry, y'all. Hey, I just got a text message that said they're having some problem with the Facebook Live feed. If you are having a problem with the feed, you can also go to YouTube. If it's easier for you, go to YouTube, search Marcus in the Man Cave. We are actually live right now on there as well. So, there's multiple ways to watch it, so pick the one that works best for you. And for the prize, start commenting who sent you here today. I see we got 19 people watching right now, so let me know who sent you, and then we'll start adding it up, and at the end we'll send the prize to that person. Go ahead, guys. Sorry.
Do y'all think Kyrie's coming back?
If they don't, the Nets are done. They put all their eggs in that basket.
Man, him getting hurt, I was like, wow, of all people to get hurt. And then here comes Celtics fans. Well, that's what he get for stepping on. I don't care if you're like on a team that I hate. I never wish injury on anybody. It could end their whole career. Like, people are crazy when they're like, yeah, it's funny that someone got hurt.
Yeah, nah. I hope he comes back so that they can lose at full power. You know what I'm saying? But if it's just KD on the floor, I'll take that too. I really have a problem. Like, okay, first of all, let me say, obviously we know KD is the best player on the planet. James Harden's up there with him, and so is Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like they just don't have heart like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is gonna be the first time where KD really is in LeBron's shoes, where he has to do everything. So now we can really see, like, if he's really the person that he thinks he is.
I feel like they put more emotion into responding via Twitter and Instagram comments versus putting it on the floor. Because when I saw James Harden responding to whatever rumors were sweetie, I was like, sir, nobody got time. That's noise. Turn it off. Like, if you didn't, nobody cares. Play the game. And I was telling Trevor, I was like, I'm not saying shut up and dribble, but I also feel like this is the time where you need to be locked in, because your goal is to get a ring, I'm assuming, but you not really acting like it.
I want to see James Harden win. I just wish he could win without KD. I like James Harden. I feel like people don't understand how good he is. Like, if he was KD's height, he'd be the best player in the league.
The thing that bothers me is that James Harden, his personality, like, he doesn't. I'm not saying that just because you're a celebrity of his status or whatever that you have to like be in the media and stuff, but when he is in the media, it's always a sour taste in my mouth. Like, he doesn't really give me a reason to like him outside of the fact that he's an outstanding basketball player.
Do we have to like them though? Like, do they have to give us a reason to like them? Like, he's out there when you're doing your job, like
when he said he didn't know that
that's
Blue Lives Matter. I didn't know what Blue Lives Matter was. I'm thinking of PR. Y'all got to get better PR people. You still have an impact whether you want to have an impact or not.
At the end of the day,
When you
some
say
people,
stuff like that,
we could say the same thing about Michael Jordan, though. He was not very active in social issues at all. Never.
I'm not saying to be active, but the ignorance is what killed me. He said he didn't know what Blue Lives Matter was, sir. You mean
And
to
that was
tell
30 years ago.
you don't-
That was over 30 years ago
Well.
almost with Michael Jordan.
like you can't just get on Google? It's usually like the first story. Like, what do you mean?
We'll have to leave that there, y'all. We'll leave that there. All right, let's get into what our meat and potatoes is going to be about today. Because I've been getting a lot of requests to talk about dating, especially with millennials and whatnot. And I'm a guy, so I felt like, I'm a guy. You got my girl Janelle in the building. I was like, why don't we bring two other people on? So we brought Daniel and we brought Ra on today so we could talk about this. And it's so funny how this turned out because they're married and we're not. So this is going to be a pretty interesting conversation probably. So I'm going to read this and then feel free to tell me how y'all feel about it out there. This is from pewresearch.org, so my sources are reputable. In 2019, only 44% of millennials were married, compared to 53% of Gen Xers, 61% of boomers, and 81% of the silent generation at a comparable age. So we are the first generation to be under 50% in marriage at this time in their lives. We're the first generation to be that way. So then they went a little further. They were like, all right, well, let's ask millennials if they actually want to get married. Like, is that still a thing? 70% of millennials still say they want to get married, but there's a bunch of other factors going into not, the reason why they don't want to get married. So I'm going to pose the question to everybody who's watching today. If you're married, go ahead and shout out your love and who you love and all that. But for those of us who aren't married, what is the main reason why you haven't got married? What is your issue that you find when you're dating? And what exactly are you looking for that you aren't seeing in today's generation? Like, that's what I want to know. So we'll start with Ra. How about you go ahead and you can tell us your story and how you feel, and then tell the people what you think about it.
Well, I think that a lot of people are struggling in the dating scene because there's a lot of people with issues that they have within themselves, and rather than working on themselves, they always want to point the finger. Oh, you did this, you did that. That's why this relationship didn't work. And what I think people don't realize is that we all have issues. And when you start dating the next person, until you resolve you can't outrun. And I think being married, something that I have learned through the years, is that you get the best outcomes when both people are focused on themselves in the sense of, what can I do to be better? How can I, contribute positively to the situation? What can I work on to maybe strengthen my weaknesses? How can I, strengthen my strengths? I also think that on the one hand, you have, I think a lot of people saw a lot of pain with divorces growing up, and it was just kind of off-putting, like, ooh, I don't want to deal with that. So on the one hand, I think that people take marriage more seriously, but on the other hand, I think people don't take it seriously enough, and that's part of the issue, is that everybody kind of wants to.
You're saying people see the fairy tale, but they don't see the work that goes behind it, basically.
Hello.
It seems like they just want I don't know,
the Disneyfication of what love is.
They want to be a hashtag goal. They want to be Sierra and Russell. They want to be Beyonce and Jay-Z. They want to be whoever is, the ballerific couple of the day or the week or whatever. And to be honest, y'all, we are poors compared to these people.
Courtney Tucker says that she doesn't see stability. But I mean, the men, it just could be the men I'm picking. That's what. Tell me what you mean by stability. Are you talking financial stability, emotional stability? Because I believe there's so many different areas of what stability could mean. So tell me a little bit more about that. Anthony, what you got, man?
Shoot,
As a single
man. I
man
mean,
out here.
you said what?
As a single man
As
out
a
here.
single. Okay. I think for me, I think the first thing we have to realize is that even because we were just talking about just before, like the world has changed a lot since we were kids. You know what I'm saying? We in our mind the 2000s were still 10 years ago. It was 21 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I
Damn.
think some of those numbers are just like number one, humans are we living longer. Our lives, the things that we're doing in our lives are just happening at a different point. You know what I'm saying? Like my mother, I'm her youngest son. She had me when she was like 23. Like I couldn't imagine having two kids when I was 23, but that was normal. She was married and had two kids. You know what I'm saying? So I just think we're just living life differently. I do think money is an issue because at that point in time, from those dates that you quoted, at that point you could have one person having a full-time job and support a family, but now you can't do that. You know what I mean? So I think all those economic things and just the way millennials have to live with student debt and other things just affect our readiness and our willingness to share our lives with other people because you want to get your shit right before you start bringing somebody else in, you know?
So I like that. I like that. Another comment we just got. I don't see consistency. Okay. So a lot of y'all are giving me like, stability, consistency, but tell me what do you want to see consistently? What are you actually trying to see consistently? Because I feel like we use these phrases like consistent and stability, but we don't dive into it. So how is anybody supposed to really know what you mean if you don't tell them exactly like what you mean, what you're looking for? So break that down for me. Communication. That was another big issue. I saw that a lot on. So I put it out on our Instagram page. I asked the question, what's causing people to stop? What's causing people to have problems dating? And communication has been a big one. Do you feel like, and Janelle, you can maybe answer this, or Rod, Janelle, or Rod, y'all can answer this. Do you think social media has become one of the reasons why we can't communicate effectively with each other anymore? Or is it a choice that we're just making to not communicate? Because now we see with social media, we have a lot more options.
I wasn't expecting you to ask that second part.
Oh, I decided to throw that in a little spice. Go ahead.
So my day job, I work in social media, and I'm constantly like reading comments and just sometimes during my free time, I'm just reading comments that ain't got to do with my job. But one thing that I've realized is that social media has produced unrealistic expectations for a lot of us, literally unrealistic. I see a lot of people saying, communication, stability, X, Y, Z. And I think it is perfectly fair for someone to want those things in another person. But I also think that people expect someone that they're interested in to have it all together. Mm-hmm. And that's what's going to make it work. And that's literally not true at all. It's not. It's not true. It's always work. From the beginning stage to engagement to getting married to I've been married for 5 years, which honestly is kind of a long time, but also at the same time isn't a long time. We are constantly working on something within our marriage, individually, as a couple. We're just constantly working. Do I think that we're in a stable place? Yes. Do I think that our communication is great? Yes. But there's a lot that we could work on. Our communication could be better. We can be more stable. I think that we all want to be in a certain space financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, all this, and expect the other person to be on the same page without taking the time to get to understand.
We got some comments. They coming in, y'all. I'm trying to look. We got Instagram comments too. I'm gonna try to read all y'all comments. Y'all are blowing up. I love it. Keep it coming. Right now, we do have a tie between Ra and Shireen right now for the most people brought in. So y'all better call some other people if y'all trying to get this prize. So I saw, men don't like to communicate, learn to communicate effectively. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. And not just because I'm a guy, maybe because it's an overbranching generalization, but I know a lot of men who love to communicate, but what they don't like is when that communication is used against them later. So a lot of men sometimes will close themselves off from communicating with their significant other because one, we're scared about how you're going to take it. And two, if you get mad, will you use it against me later? I think that might be me. I don't think all men want to. Shireen says, I agree, but they don't have to have it all together, but they have to be willing to want to get it together. I think one of the issues may be that as millennials, we are always on the go. We travel often, and social media provides us with more opportunities to connect with many different people, thus giving us many more options. I think the millennial lifestyle makes it difficult to settle down and commit to one individual. And Sergey, what's up, bro? Says that there are different types of communication, and I agree. There's some. I think it's not just so cut and dry. But
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it possible to stop saying, but women be like, but men be like?
Oh, yeah.
Is it possible? And I'm talking specifically about the Black community. You know, I ranted about this on my Instagram because I feel like social media is setting the Black community up for failure. These pages that we follow, and I know y'all heard me say this, like, you constantly see it be like where the conversation is focused solely on men. First of all, we don't know all Black men. I can't sit up here and generalize y'all. I don't know all of y'all. Yeah. We can say we know all Black women. Y'all don't know all of us. So maybe when we remove that and stop spewing this negativity that we just had to deal with in our lives and stop thinking that just because I saw 3 or 4 men do this, that doesn't mean they're all going to do it. And same thing with women. I think that's a very serious problem.
So Courtney, she responded. I asked her a little bit, extra, to elaborate a little bit. She said, being able to trust my partner to be able to protect and provide financially for themselves, not even me for real, because I believe in self-love first, and someone who can move smart. I know everyone can have a low time, but I want someone with me with a hustler mentality to provide some sort of stability, if that makes sense. I understand that. I get what you're saying now. I appreciate you clearing that up. So, Rod, what do you think? What do you think people are doing wrong? Because since you found Joe Forever, what do you think people are doing wrong when they're approaching dating as a millennial? Like, what is it that people aren't getting right? Oh, did we lose it?
I think she's a little frozen.
Oh no!
I feel like a teacher on my Zoom class would be like, "Hello, are you with us?
Sorry for the technical difficulties, here? Y'all. This happens. She back. Did you get the question?
She back.
I'm back. I think a lot of the issue is that a lot of people get physical real fast out here.
Ooh.
I think
that contributes to long-term meaningful relationships. And then y'all can touch on this part. I think that partially because of how men are wired.
Like, hold on, you want to say raised or you want to say wired? Because
let her say what she want to say. Let her say what she want to say.
Typically, guys, when they see something they want and they get it right away, they usually move on to, okay, what's the next thing I want? Typically speaking, when they are able to build a relationship and a connection with a female, a young lady, outside what the physical.
We might be having a little technical difficulty over there.
She got that Nelly thunderstorm going on over there right now.
We'll try to work on getting her back up. But Janelle, you want to go ahead and finish in on that?
Oh, can I say something?
Go ahead. All
right. One thing I think we should get away from though, because she kind of hit on it a little bit. Oh, she coming back.
Be a more long so that's just what I've picked up on.
Okay, cool. Anthony, you want to go ahead?
Y'all just go ahead.
All right.
It happens.
I would say we should our heteronormative relationships seem very transactional to me. It seems like as like a guy, I'm supposed to take you on dates, and then after you feel like whatever, then you would give me your body or whatever. I just feel like that's for me at this point in my life, having sex with somebody is not really a goal. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we've lived enough to where nobody is really pressed over that. Well, they shouldn't be pressed over that for real. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that we shouldn't be like, I don't know, we shouldn't be like guarding this. So
Alex
I'll
said,
give you this if you
how
give me
long we
that.
supposed to wait? How long we supposed to wait for
For me personally, this is what I'll say. This is just me in my life. I have like met somebody the first day, smashed on the first date, but if I like them, then I'm gonna continue to date them. It doesn't have anything to do with when we had sex. It just, if I like them, I'm gonna date them. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it should be like that. We shouldn't be like, oh, she gave it up too fast, so now let me move on. It's like, no, if you mess with Shorty, then continue to mess with her. You know what I'm saying?
Sharice, hey Sharice.
They exist.
Huh? What
I said there are more men like you out there. They actually exist.
Yeah, there's good guys out there. So that's another thing. Stop saying that all. I hate the all guys generalization. There's some good guys out there, and I don't hang with anything but good guys. And Anthony's one of them. So,
and it's also putting negative energy into what you want. If you want a good man, how you gonna sit here and say all men are trash? How does that make sense?
I think that's another thing too. That I think this might be a little controversial, but I'm gonna say it. The whole "I don't need a man" attitude is not conducive to it. I know, and I get what you mean when you say it. I get what's meant when it is said. It means you're independent. You don't need a man to take care. I get that. But men in a relationship do want to feel needed and appreciated. They do.
I don't think that's what we mean.
But no, I'm just. Go ahead.
Can I let me say this though? Trev, I see you, bro. But I would say like, all men are not trash, but I will say patriarchy, the system of patriarchy is what's trash. Yeah. And that's hurting everyone. You know what I'm saying? And we have to like kind of, it's gonna take generations, but we gotta break up with those norms that set us up for failure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the whole statement kind of I don't need a man, it's kind of like directed directly towards men as opposed to just empowering the woman herself.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make me feel like, I mean, it's not about me. I get what you're saying when you say it, but at the same time, for people who might not want to look that deeply into it, it kind of looks like, well, then what am I doing here? Like, what give me.
I feel like for
unblur Trev so we can see Trev in the back.
Yeah, we want to see Trev. Unblur Trev.
It's okay.
It's 3-on-2 now.
For a while, I'm just gonna speak. Black women.
Go ahead.
We were in a position where we had to be strong. We had to figure out a way to make it work. Whether and again, there are a lot of factors like mass incarceration, the crack epidemic. There are a lot of factors as to why maybe the Black woman was on her own, but we had to rise to the occasion and develop the strength. And now later, it's kind of like we're demonized. We're either demonized for such strength, or that's the only positive thing that can be associated with the Black woman is her strength.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like that. I like that you on. Okay. All right.
So, can I add to that? I think of watching so many older Black women in our community and how they were just so submissive to anything. So yes, when I say I don't need my husband, he knows that. Trevor knows I can handle my bag and do what I got to do. But having him there and how we complement each other makes it beautiful. But he also promotes me being independent, doing what I got to do. Here, I got my bag today. Go girl, the end. Right?
Right.
That's why she constantly looking back for approval. Because he like, we'll talk offline, Trev. We'll get you in the seat. We're gonna get you your own camera. We're gonna get you in the seat.
Yeah, next time it's gonna be him sitting here, not me.
Hey, so I just saw a comment that I think is gonna stir y'all up. Anthony, I'm gonna let you respond to it first. This comes from Sergi. He said, "When men don't feel needed, that's usually what leads to them stepping out." I'm gonna back away from that comment.
All right, let me say this. All right, so Serge, you're my brother, but I gotta say that I gotta call that BS, bro. I feel like stepping out is about maturity and commitment. Like if I respect you as a person, I'm gonna either stay committed to you or break up with you. But I don't have to cheat on you though. I don't have to cheat on you, and I don't expect you to like be my ride or die and like stick around while I like grow up and like figure out that I shouldn't be cheating on you. So I feel like when people cheat, that's more of a them thing than like a. Obviously, you know, if you're not getting what you need, it can lead to that. But that's when you use your communication to be like, "Hey, I'm not getting what I need," and either leave or stay. But you don't gotta never cheat though. You shouldn't be cheating.
It can all be so simple.
I will say too, back to the earlier conversation about millennials, I feel like there's an extreme lack of vulnerability. So I feel like people want these very meaningful, you know, connections, but they're afraid to really open up and let people in because they're afraid of getting hurt. Because you don't know if somebody's playing or, you know.
What you got, Trev? I see you back there. You got something you want to say?
I mean, one thing I could just point to being secure in yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're insecure about everything, you're going to rub that off on somebody else, and you're going to rub that off on somebody else. You have to know who you are before you want to tell somebody else who you are.
That's something too. I figured, and I got to tell the fellas this too. We got to stop doing it. This toxic masculinity crap when it comes to relationships got to stop. Because what pissed me off was when I saw that post by was it Russell Wilson, when he said the scariest thing that he would have to go through is if he lost Sierra, and y'all came out and called this man a simp for it. Now, first of all, how is proclaiming your love for the person that you married, the mother of your children, how's that being a simp? Like, loving the person that you married, you went to the altar with. Like, I don't understand.
I will say that.
You just think he's corny.
No, I mean, but to me, like, it's not being a simp. It's just doing love. Like, it's just.
This is also somebody that never posts on social media.
I know. I'm like an outsider. I'm removed from the shit. But I mean, being a simp, like, because you hurt, like, what? As a simp?
Like, I'm sick of that word already, simp. Hold on, let me read some of these comments, y'all. I'm trying to get to y'all really in there today, and I appreciate it. Partnership is something I feel our generation doesn't understand because people think it's cute to be a loner and antisocial.
Right.
So,
but there are people that will compliment that. I think that people just refuse to actually, like, I don't know, maybe it's just because like our story is just very non-traditional. Like, I was not looking for a man. Trevor was not looking for a woman. We just met naturally in the store. Like, it just happened. And we courted each other. It wasn't really like Trevor doing everything. Like, I love taking Trevor out on dates. I love surprising him and stuff. We mind our business.
Ooh, Trevor is simp. He is simp.
Stop putting your business out there, okay? I learned the hard way. I used to put a lot of my business out there, and it hurts not only you, but it hurts others. There's a ripple effect. But when you happen to stumble upon someone, like, just chill, relax. He was made to take his course. It's not going to be perfect. Don't disagree. You might even argue every now and then, but that happens. Like, so, I think people are just terrified.
So here's my question, and Ra, you can answer this. When you were looking for your husband, were you looking for somebody to actually lead, or were you looking for someone to compliment?
Well, I was 17. Me and my husband actually met in church, and
crazy.
Yeah, so our families kind of just went to the same church, and he was super quiet. And if anybody knows me when I'm like out and about, I usually speak to everybody, but he was a bit, I don't know, he was a bit standoffish. I don't know. But anywho, I feel like he upstairs moving around because he can't, I'm talking about him. But as far as leading, I honestly won't say, yeah, once we entered the marriage conversations, that is when I was looking, you know, like, okay, I want you to step up. But my husband, the way that he is, he's going to lead when he feels it's necessary. But like, you know, stuff he don't care about, I just do what I want to do, and he's fine with it. He's super supportive. So you got to have a balance, you know, dealing with who you're dealing with. Because not everybody wants to lead or control every single thing. And I prefer the teammate mentality. I got your back, you got mine, and we gonna make it do what it do.
I like
I
that.
was
I
gonna
like
say, it
that.
sounds like they trust each other too.
Yeah.
So
That,
people go into relationships not being able to trust
hey,
at all.
I'm gonna get to you, Anthony, but Janelle, can you read what we got on Instagram? You said you got some Instagram comments.
Yes. We have a few. The one that really stuck out to me was someone said emotional abuse. Call it is gaslighting, and females. I'm looking at you.
Ooh.
Who is this person? I want to know. If you watch him right now,
I know who she is, and I love her to death. I
Let me-
love her so much. What you got, Anthony?
Let me. I think okay. We gotta chill with calling like women and young ladies females. You know, because I think it's not like a super like smack in your face, but it's a microaggression that
But
we
it's
should
just-
like.
that's
If we
funny.
care, we should stop doing it.
The person who
But
said
I think emotional abuse, yeah, it works both ways. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That's why you have to have. That's why like Trev said, like you need to know who you are before you try to tell somebody else, so that like you can understand like what's really what, or at least have an idea going into a relationship. And I don't know, man. You just got to work in good faith. I feel like if you're really trying to put your best foot forward, things will usually work out. And if somebody is doing wrong, you'll be able to tell.
I'll say that too, because even I'm 28 now. I feel like I'm finally even just coming into the realization of who I am right now. Because
Yeah.
I lived in a world where I let what people thought my family was define me, kind of like. So I was living in the box that I was put in a little bit. And so just recently I started coming out of my shell. So I'm starting to look back at some of my past relationships and things that didn't work out. Some I can say were completely my fault. Some I can say weren't. But I'm starting to realize that the person who was in those relationships isn't even who I really am. And so I wasn't being fair to them, and I wasn't being fair to myself for even being in those relationships anyway. So I think we have to do better with holding ourselves accountable when it comes to relationships. Like knowing when we're messing up, when we're not all there, when we're not all right, like being able to step back and then also communicate that with the person that you're with and be like, hey, like I'm not this level where you're at right now. I might not be at that level today or something like that. Like I'm not going to be perfect all the time. And I think we have unrealistic expectations of what relationships are supposed to be like. We live in this Disney fairy tale where, oh, it's going to be all, sunshine and flowers and Instagram posts. When behind every post that y'all holding hands and looking good, there's a whole bunch of mess that happened behind it. Like, so I think we got to be more accountable and be more truthful in how our relationships really are.
I think another thing that people miss too is once you do find somebody that you value, like, you know what, this could really go somewhere, you don't know or learn their love language. And so you're over here just pouring how you want to be loved onto them, and that does nothing for them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Because watching Grey's
I
Anatomy,
asked somebody what their love language was, and she was
I see
like,
you, Trev.
"My what?" I had to delete her number. I had to delete that. I had to cancel that one. I had to let her go.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
We got a comment: stay single and date multiple people until you are ready to settle down. How y'all feel about that one?
I mean, that's fair if that's what you want to do.
I would say you're single.
I don't know why people think that just because they're talking to one person means they can't talk to like 15 people. You literally have the right to do what.
That's a lot of energy, and that's expensive for me, for a guy. That just feels expensive.
Like, there's nowhere that says. I mean, 15 is.
Shoot, even 2 to 3, that can get pricey, man. In DC.
I don't think young Black women growing up had that space and opportunity to. You were automatically labeled as
a hoe.
Yep. And then like even by like maternal figures, you was being fast or whatever. Like I don't think we had that space to do
How
that.
many boyfriends you got? Why are these men calling your phone? Because I'm cute. Like that's what I should have. Why did they call you cute?
Yeah,
that's a great point though, Rod. And I think we should like moving forward, like we gotta delete the word hoe. You know what I'm saying? And just like as long as you are not out here catching something or like missing your job or not paying your bills, you should be able to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're a man or a woman, as long as you're not hurting people. You know what I'm saying? So I do agree with you there. But if you want to be single and just date or whatever, then
you're right, Courtney.
As long as the people that you messing with know, hey, look, you just one in a million. As long as you let them know that, and they don't think it's something that is not, then I think that's okay.
So I got a comment on someone just texted me. I don't know why they wanted to put it in the thing, but look, I'm gonna tell this to you guys, and y'all can call me a simp because I'm gonna get called a simp now. There is no such thing as the friend zone. It does not exist. It is a figment of your imagination, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you're sitting there thinking that she's gonna say yes to you because you stick around long enough and you do nice stuff for her after she's already told you that she's not interested in you. You have created the zone that you live in. It's not a friend zone. It's just your own imagination. That's how I feel about it. I don't believe in friend zoning. Yes, there are manipulative women that will use you, but if this person has expressed to you that they don't see you in that way, stop trying for it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm gonna leave it alone.
If it's established, then yeah.
Yeah.
If it's stated, if it's like black and white with the period, then yeah.
Yeah.
I have friend zone people.
It's a wrap. It's a dub.
I think the friend zone.
Well, no. Did you see? All right. Did you friend zone? Or were they doing something for you? Is this why you kept them around?
No, I didn't realize that's what it was. Like, there's like this weird thing where some people think that just because you text me and say, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm somehow your woman, and it's wild.
I think Marcus is saying that like guys think that there's a shot.
Yeah, like thinking there's a shot when she's obviously told you there's no shot.
Like there's a silver line. Like there's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some guys do have that.
Yeah, cracking the door.
I just don't think. I don't think for guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
it's not a real thing. That's just you hoping against hope.
I'm in the friend zone. He's really hoping that one day something just.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she already told me no, but I'm gonna keep showing her that I'm the guy. I'm gonna show up with gifts and I'm gonna do all this. She told you no, bro. Like she told you no.
Prove it.
That's called stalking. On a complete different note, do y'all think that we throw the word hubby and wifey around like it's a piece of paper? Like a lot of people say, "Oh, that's my hubby, that's wifey," and there is no goal to actually get to that. And y'all are doing things that husbands and wives do, which it's. Also need people to understand that you can live in a house with somebody, y'all can sleep in the same bed, y'all can sit up here and have bills in your name, you can cut grass in the same house and plant a tree and all that, but it still is completely different the second y'all say I do.
Unique is crazy. This man said a shoulder to cry on can turn into a never mind. Okay, I got you, man. I hear you out there. I hear you. How do we feel about friends with benefits? Oh, and Shireen says sometimes as women, we don't express that there's no shot though. That if you don't express there's no shot, then it's your fault. Then at that point, you kind of, if you're willingly not expressing it, I feel like you're leading him on. If you know how he feels about you, be honest with dude. Yes. Let him know.
Let me say this though. Like because I feel like a lot of women just feel like some of them are like, I don't want to be mean to dude, so I don't want to like completely shut him down. Some people just don't have a heart to just shut somebody down, so they just like they're just perpetually unavailable. To me, I feel like if I ask you out like 1-2 times and you can't do it, then it's all right. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like nobody is that busy. If they want to mess with you, they will. So I just take myself out the friend zone.
I know some people who are completely oblivious though. There are some. I've met a few. Like there's been a few women I've worked with where a guy has liked them, and then they come to me saying, "You know, I really like that guy," and I've been like, "You ain't see him like making all these advances toward you this whole time? Like he likes you too. Like what are we waiting for?" Oh, and they're like, "I didn't know. This man has asked you out to lunch every day at work. Like, have you not noticed?" Like, so I don't know, but I get what you're saying.
Women shoot their shot by thinking about you, bro.
That's the
how
truth.
They do that.
I wish they'd be like, I wish he would call. I'd be like, you got his number? Oh, he don't have my number though. So how he gonna call you? Just go talk. Like,
say no though. There are women who are getting killed for rejecting men. I have been
You're right.
out and threatened just because, like, when people found out that me and Trevor were dating, like, there were people texting my phone saying, "Oh, you just gonna get married? F you. That's fine. I hope it don't last." And I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, what? Like, there's like this really odd anger. And this is, in my opinion, I've seen this more come from men. Like, the idea of rejection is like, you're not going to reject me. And it's like,
I think some men feel entitled.
Do y'all think
some men feel entitled to
do y'all think this kind of goes back to kind of how boys and girls are raised differently? especially when I guess when we were growing up, because guys were raised like boys be boys, sow your wild oats, do all that, and then girls are raised to be modest and be ladylike, to not do any of the things that guys can get away with. And I think that when you show that to young boys that that's something acceptable behavior, when a woman comes along and challenges that, they can't take it. They just can't.
This is when people turn ugly. I feel like that's a fair example. Like if someone acts like that, that's ugly, and I don't want you to be around me at all. And it's crazy that people think like you're supposed to talk to me for what?
Those DMs be crazy. They be posting those pictures of DMs when dudes get mad because they don't get answered, and they just start like they go straight to insults, and it's just always been crazy to me.
I would be so embarrassed.
It's a protection mechanism because they feel hurt, they feel rejected, but it's a simp thing to do to say, wow, that hurt me. I was hoping it would go this way, but I'll get it together and move on.
That's a question.
Nobody wants to do all that.
That's a good question. Hey, Anthony, as a man, and you've been in relationships, have you ever been able to openly, I'm not saying if you haven't, but have you ever been able to openly go to the girl you dating and be like, what you did hurt me? Like something you said hurt my feelings.
Okay.
Or like, have you ever been able to do that?
Yeah, I would say like in my more like recent type of relationships, but I mean, I'm like 29 now. So I'm like just now getting to the point where I'm like, hey, shorty, you hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, we've been raised to just not be like that. You know what I mean? So once you start to understand all of that was like bullshit, then you're like, okay, look, let me be a little bit more socially aware. For real. Teaching has whipped my ass, but it's really helped me with like emotional intelligence a lot. Having to like deal with just children and stuff all the time, for real, it's like opened my mind to some different stuff. For real.
I agree, man, because I feel like if I ever have a son, if I'm ever blessed enough to have a son, like that's the first thing I really want to instill in him is emotional intelligence and being able to express that emotion. Because I grew up with a very old school father, loving to death. I'm not trying to say, and Father's Day coming up, so happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. I don't know if we have a show before there, but that goes to you, Trev. Like it was like almost seen as weakness to have a little emotion about anything. Like to have any, it's just weakness.
And some women will still make you feel
and that's what I'm saying. So the one time I did, the first time I ever came to a woman and told her like, what you said kind of hurt my feelings. It got shot right back at me like, grow up, like, like, wow, that hurt your little feelings. Like, you're supposed to be a man and all this. Is like, so because I'm a man now, I'm not supposed to have any emotions. So when you want me to get happy about your stuff, I'm not going to get happy about your stuff. When you want me to feel, because now if this emotion isn't valid, like none of my emotions will be valid. And so I went through that terrible like phase of where, if you say I can't have emotions, then I'm not going to have emotions about anything. So I just wanted to know, from your side, like, have you ever been able to do it?
But see, that's why I feel like it's not like men and women. It's the system of patriarchy. It's like because women can perpetrate that too. It's like they just think that we're not supposed to be emotional, but we human though. You know what I'm saying? Just like you human. You know what I mean? Just like so. That's why I try to be real progressive in my relationships. And my bro Taylor has helped me a lot. He's called me on a lot of stuff. He pissed me off sometimes, but he's helped me think about a lot of things. And like unlearn a lot of things.
Janelle, you can respond to this. This is a comment from I think our first YouTube page comment. So milestones. So this is from Magnetic Vortex Resonance. For a large percentage of modern women, marriage is like landing a dream job. Then a couple of years later, demanding half of ownership in that business that hired you. Family law overwhelmingly favors women. A recent Brookings Institute poll shows that women initiate 84% of divorces. Let that sink in. And she says, by the way, I am a woman and a practicing attorney. Bam. Well, I'm gonna need you on my homework for legal analysis this week for one.
You said what? You said what, Marcus?
I said I'm gonna need her for some help with my homework. Whoever this is.
First part one more time for me.
So the first part was for a large percentage of modern women, marriage is like landing a dream job. Then a couple of years later, demanding half of ownership in that business that hired you. Family law overwhelmingly favors women. And then recent Brookings Institute poll shows women initiate 84% of divorces. Let that sink in.
So I'm going to say this. The idea of it being a dream job, what were we raised on?
Because y'all be cheating?
Come on. We were raised on the woman is always in distress and someone comes to save her and saves the day. Literally, it was ingrained in us in every cartoon, in every movie, in everything. The woman is always in distress and her goal is just to find this man who's going to sweep her away and save her. And if that's someone's dream job, do you? I just feel like instead of trying to have an opinion on what people are doing in the moment, like, what does that matter? And also, if women are the top, she said 84% of women are the ones initiating divorce, is good for them. Because I think women are sitting in relationships that are trash, and they're realizing I don't have to because I'm not going to go to hell if I get divorced.
Amen.
And the economic impact of how it used to be.
Like, exactly.
Your granny might have had to stay in that situation to sort of survive, but that's not the case anymore.
Because women are top in education right now.
We're talking. You scratching the beard. Some thoughts are coming to you. What you got?
I would just say, I mean, because I respect expert opinions. You know what I'm saying? But I will just say, when it comes to shorties that are just looking for the bag, I just don't mess with them. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to women that just want me to trick off my money, like I just don't deal with them. So because I don't believe in that.
Oh, wait a minute. That came back with another comment. I'm not sure. I'm not sure this is a woman.
Mitigate that.
I'm gonna say that right now. I'm not sure that this person is a woman commenting because I can't believe this. I mean maybe it is, but said remember men, most women don't care about your struggles. They just hang out at the finish line and take the kids, pensions, and home. That's
some people.
Hey! Y'all remember that episode of Chappelle Show where he was like he was a black man, but he was a Klan member?
Yeah, that's what this is starting. That's what I'm saying. This is starting to sound a little.
That's what this feel like right now.
Very memorable first comments.
No.
Come on, and Courtney says because we be cheating. Not all men be cheating. Come on now. Come on. There's some good guys out there. But I do think that it's a different day and age. Like Ross said, women had to stay back in the day because guys were out having 2-3 families, but they were the breadwinners, and they didn't have the economic freedom that they have today. And I think that's another reason why we're waiting so long to get married. Only 44% of millennials are married. We're waiting longer because now we have more financial opportunities, and starting a family does not necessarily help our financial situation. And we have more opportunity. We want to achieve things before we have our families, instead of have our families and then working to achieve them. And I think we just reversed that.
And then resent your kids because you're not happy. And that's why we all going through therapy right now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Proud of it.
I love it. Every Thursday, me and DeAndre be talking, okay?
Come on, DeAndre.
It's too late, Courtney.
Come on, Miss DeAndre.
Now they said I would love to come on your show. We'll talk about it. That might be interesting. That might be some good conversation. We'll talk about it.
She got a little Tommy Lauren up in her. I don't know about that.
I need to see your face first.
Yeah, we're gonna have to connect.
We got FaceTime first.
We just got an award from Restream today. We've reached 100 messages. That's great. Y'all keep it coming. Going back to that comment, I don't think we answered it fully, and I'm sorry, but I want to go back to it. About friends with benefits. Do we agree with it? Ra, go ahead.
I am a terrible person to ask.
That's why I asked you. Go ahead.
I don't see the benefit of it because from what I've seen, feelings get hurt. And so I just feel like it's a waste of time. That's my opinion.
Okay. Anthony, what you
think? Can I? All right, look. I'm gonna tell y'all my business this one time, okay? No, I mean, I've been in situations like that before. I do agree with Rod. If you're not on the same page, feelings could, things could get murky, but that's where communication comes in. So if you're gonna be in a situation like that with somebody, then you just got to make sure that y'all are both mature enough to just deal with that. And if something changes, that you'd be like, hey, look, something has changed for me, so we need to either go this way or go that way. But I guess maturity is the most important part in that.
Yeah. I've never seen it where, as Victoria says, I've never seen it where it doesn't get messy. And I love it when it's between coworkers because everybody gets to see it, and it's the best thing ever. It is the best thing ever. Especially with me and Ra, what we do. It's fun to be on. be out there when something goes down.
But you can't be doing that with your coworkers though. That's the problem right there. That's where you messed up.
Yeah, you don't.
And like just being with their coworkers, I don't understand this whole thing. Like I've worked at places where everyone was messing with each other, and they came into work and was acting fools.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a complete no. I never, ever, ever would ever mess with someone I work with.
Hey, Sergio, where's Sinise? Because you off the chain today. Where's
Sinise?
We've
had full-on fights at our job.
We've had
full-on fights at our job. Mind you, I work at a school. We've had fights.
Like full-on, like children fights or the staff fight?
No, I'm talking about staff, teachers. You messing with my man?
Nah. Unique says it best. Never mix business with pleasure. I agree.
Hello?
It is never a good.
I've seen it work once. There is a couple right now who they just had their first child. They're married and they met when I worked at Apple, and they're beautiful and they're wonderful. But they minded their business. They were very private. They did not display any type of, and you knew that they were in a relationship like their coworkers did, but it was very appropriate and professional. So, yeah, it worked once. The rest of them, a mess.
So, where do we? All right, I'm gonna ask Anthony. What is one thing you wish women would understand, or what one thing that women should know that might help them in dating a millennial man? Like, what is one thing that you would specifically be looking for in a woman that would drive you to say, yeah, this one might have potential. This might be one.
Marcus, can you come back to me, bro? Can you ask somebody else?
All right, cool. We'll come back.
This is my thing. This is the reason why. I see, like, I'm just like real slow to like tell women, especially black women, what they need to do. So
I'm not saying what they need to do, but I'm not saying what they need to do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what women need to do, but like something
you.
that you want them to maybe understand a little bit. Like maybe that some might have some problems with. Ra, what do you think men get wrong when thinking about women? Like, what do you think we get wrong?
I think it's the finger pointing. I think it's not being okay with, actually there's some things that I need to work on, as a person, that might positively influence how this relationship goes. And I do say that, and the woman should be doing the exact same thing. But it's just a lot of finger pointing, and nobody wants to work on themselves. So I think if a man walks into the situation knowing, there's going to be a lot of work, but I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to work on myself. I'm willing to grow, mature, etc. I think that's the best thing they could do. Okay,
Trev, I see you back there. What you got? You in there?
I mean, I would say my own personal experience. Even when I was in college, I didn't go out. I didn't date because everybody I was with was, you gonna smoke me out? You gonna drink me up? And I was like, oh, that's why I'm in school. I'm trying to get some bread. I was like, you got some bread? So I experienced from jump. I let Janelle know. I was like, hey, I work part-time. I was like, I make enough money to fill up my gas tank and keep my belly full. And she was still with me. So at that point, I turned everybody off. I played Xbox over going out. Chilling in the crib. Didn't care.
Come on, Trev. Come on, man. Come on, be a husband and a father.
The millennial man right there.
That was on me. I'm sure a lot of women would be like, he didn't have no money. He did have a lot of money, but we were going everywhere. We were still like going to concerts. We were still traveling, doing this. To be honest, Trevor taught me how to be financially smart. Like, I was out here blowing my money, blowing it anyway. Like, I want to go shopping this weekend. Like, I know my rent is due, but I really want this outfit. It really worked for me. But I feel like specifically, you just have to find what works for you, but stop trying to allow what happened before to dictate what's happening now.
All right. I know we're coming up on time. But I gotta read this last comment and then we'll close up shop. Black women need to look at the man for who he is and not the man they think he can be. Sometimes women get caught up in what they they see a man being in the future that they forget to love the man who is in the present.
Why it got to be black women? Why does it have to be black? Like, why?
So don't fall in love with the potential.
That's their experience. That's their experience.
I mean, that's his experience.
Marcus, let me say something. Can I say something?
Yeah,
real
man.
Quick?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Listen, you got it.
I would say this. For men and women, I would say just whatever your expectations are, just be ready to bring that. I would say if you want a woman if you want somebody to be real submissive and you want somebody to be real traditional, you need to be ready to pay for everything, and you need to be ready to be that traditional role. If you want somebody to be like more progressive, then you gotta be ready for them to have their own opinion and for them to like challenge you on things sometimes. So I would just say, yeah, just understand like everything has balance. So you can't have one without the other.
It's a partnership.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's 8:30, and y'all know I promised to keep the show at an hour, so I'm gonna do that. I know nobody wants to leave. Man, I love okay, Anthony on here speaking tonight. Yeah, we might have to have these two back because they did it. Let's give a round of applause to our guests because I mean, amazing, just amazing. I appreciate both of you giving me your time tonight. I know y'all could be anywhere else right now, but I'm glad you're rocking in the man cave with me. Janelle, as always, the co-host with the most. I love it. And Trev, with the appearance, y'all, Trev is alive and well. We don't have to worry about him anymore. He made a cameo. And it was his birthday yesterday. I mean, birthday, anniversary. Like, they've had a week, and I love it. Someone said part 2 next week. I don't know. Should we make this a series? Should we part 2 this next week?
We can just come up with some different angles. I think we can.
All right. So if y'all want us to do a part 2 next week, drop that right now. But tell us what y'all want exactly for us to talk about, because we can't have a conversation without y'all feeling it. I told y'all in the beginning of this show that it is run by you guys. You guys run it, and we just feed off you. We set a record tonight for comments. I want to say so that's amazing. And then we set a record for active viewership too tonight. So I appreciate that. Like, I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. So I need everybody to do one thing right now before you leave tonight. I need y'all to go over to YouTube, search Marcus in the Man Cave, subscribe to the channel. So if you missed a video at any time, you can catch it on catch it next week. The video from today will be up tonight, and the one from last week is already up there. So we're starting to branch out on our platforms, and we need you guys to help us grow. Go ahead again, drop who sent you here tonight so I can find out who wins the prize. I'll tell it on my page tomorrow. And am I missing anything, Janelle? I don't want to miss nothing. Am I missing anything tonight?
Happy Juneteenth. We already said that. That's about it. Be black, y'all. Stay black.
Yeah, so with
blackity black.
Put the link in the comments. I will do that. I'll try to do that. But y'all, thanks for coming. Please interact with the page during the week though. Let us know what you want to talk about. Drop us DMs or whatever on Instagram. What was that?
We are on Instagram. We need to get the followers up. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, we're on Instagram too. So go on to Instagram. Love the dialogue. We love y'all too. Sergi guest host next week. We'll talk about it. And Raleigh. All right. So all right, y'all. That's it for tonight. We might have a part 2. We'll see how y'all respond on our page. And that's it, y'all. Peace.
Bye.
Still going. I was trying to let because the theme music goes at the end, so I was letting the theme music roll in. So I cut it short.
My bad, brother. Hey man, you really mean business, bro. You like a skinny Brent over there right now.
I appreciate it. I learned from the best. Not a skinny.
No, I mean that.
Brent getting skinny too though. Brent losing that weight, boy.
Brent is passing me by.
Yeah, Brent.
Yeah, he is.
I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him.
It's a whole different person.
Yeah, Truck lost a lot.
Truck Truck out there looking like Black Chris Brown out there, man.
Yeah, with them capris on.
Okay.
So first of all, I want to thank you two for like, Raw, you did a great job. I don't know what you were scared about.
It's gonna be just us.
I just get in my own head. I needed to relax. We just talking, and now I feel like, all right, we was just talking.
All right, so anytime you want to come back to the show, either one of y'all are welcome. If we do a part 2 of this, would y'all want to come back for part 2?
Definitely, but yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we'll do part 2. I'm gonna work on whatever's going on with your screen and everything. But
me?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it's the program, so I'll fix it.
Also, I learned that I should not be hooked up to my Wi-Fi. I think when I froze, that was the issue. So if I just use my cellular data, that'll be better. Yeah. And I thought we were going to talk about, this is what I thought we were going to talk about. I thought we were going to talk about the demonization of Black men from Black women and the demonization of Black women from Black men.
That's part 2.
That's where I thought.
That's part 2.
I was going to say that.
That's part 2.
Don't
That's
go in
it.
the comments.
That's
hey, Trevor.
Hey,
Trev. You need to be here next week.
You will.
Yeah, you need to be like y'all can sit. Yeah, just pull up a chair with her. Yeah, but like
he said, "Am I needed?"
Yeah, just pull up the chair next to her next time. We'll just have y'all two.
We'll just have like a setup of me and him sitting. I'll just move to like a living room or something.
Okay, cool. So we can. But yeah, I agree.
Hey, you still on?
Oh, that's Facebook and that's Skype. I was getting confused the whole time.
Still on YouTube, Marcus. You still on YouTube, brother?